Good morning. Let's bring that in a bit closer. There you go. Thank you very much for joining me. It's Sunday again. Goodness me. Here we are, racing towards the end of the first month of 2023. I can't believe it. Had a first online workshop with a group of lovely peoples yesterday, and lots of lovely different versions of the card design that we were doing. So it's lovely to see those. Thank you so much for those of you who have finished your cards and popped them up onto the Maximum Crafts Facebook page, of which you're all welcome to go along and join. It is a private group though, so you do have to join, but no rules and regulations, just show and tell, which is what we like to do. So what are we going to do today? Well, today I wanted to show you a sort of inspired by one of my bestest, well, not one of my bestest ever friend, to have a go at these two dies, which you may or may not think go together very well. And I have put together a little very special for you. So these two are available separately. So we've got the Noble Collection Decorative Hearts from Creative Expressions and Sue Wilson. And we've got the Moonstone dies from Hunky Dory. And this one's called Bubbles Patch. They are available separately. And there is an exceptionally limited amount of the bundle. The reason being that these bubbles are on the limit. I can get a few more of these, but they are what I've got is what I've got with those. They don't make them anymore. However, they are so versatile, both in their individuals, but together something very different. So that's what I'm going for today, and I really like it. I hope you do as well. So the bubbles are a die set which are about 7 by 8, so they're smallish bubbles. They come together, and I'll cut one out of those in for you in a second. They obviously lead themselves really well to being for bubbles from a champagne glass or a champagne bottle or a wine bottle or something like that. So for celebratory type of things, maybe also, if you've got, I'm going a bit random here, but ducks, little things like that. But yeah, that sort of thing. And obviously hearts are hearts. So the heart size, though, I think is nice in as much as it's got what they call the decorative edge, which is another range that they have done by Creative Expressions. They've done the little slimline apertures like that, and some other versions. I can't think what, but different shapes. They've been circles, squares, all sorts, with this little sort of square decorative edge, which I think looks really pretty, and I think makes the heart perhaps not look quite so flouncy, and if you could be such a thing. So I'm going to put the two together, see what you think, see if you like it. So that's my bubbles. Pop that to one side. Now the craft dies of this selection come in a selection of 5 dies. 5 dies. I am going to be using die number 2 and die number 3 to make my card. So I'm going to be not using that big one, but I will show you just how this big one comes out. So very, very pretty with these little sort of decorative edges there, which I think look really nice. But I'm going to use those 2 today. So let's do a bit of die cutting. So I'm going to bring in some vintage gold card. I'm going to bring that in the satin and also the mirror. I'm hiding the mirror because otherwise it will flash back at you. And I'm going to take the largest of my 2 hearts, which I can't pick up, and I'm going to put that onto this scrap. And that's another thing. We are using scraps, and I'm unusually not going to make a matte and layer border today. So there you go. And then my lovely bubbles. Let's pick out this. Oh, it's because I've got the silicone mat and everything doesn't want to move. And I'm going to put that, I won't show you, I'm going to put that on the other side for my gold shiny. Okay, so I'm going to, again, it's a scrap piece that I happen to cut out of something else. So I'm going to run both of those things through my die cutting machine. I have to do them separately. I have already cut some of them out, so to save time, because with the bubbles, I wanted to actually cut those out 4 times for this little one. So let me just cut the bubbles out. Hold on, just a second. So just take that off there. And you can see that that comes out beautifully with all those little pieces there. Then I'm going to bring in my bubbles. Now, you can see that my bubbles have stuck there, which is fine, but you've also got the inner pieces. Okay, so that's how the bubbles cut out, which I think are really pretty, and particularly in the gold. But I've also got lots of little spare bits. Now I'm going to keep those, so I'm going to just shush them onto my board here, out of camera shot. I'll bring them in a second. Okay, so I've got that and that. And then I'm going to take my next size down die, so that's die number 3, and I'm going to use some antique copper. Again, scrap left over from the cards to yesterday, actually. And I'm going to join that on there because I think that these two colours go together really well. So let's pop that in. And then also, because we wanted some flowers, or I wanted some flowers, I've cut out some flowers from the Sunflowers from John next door. So hopefully, if I put those two together, you can see that they go together really well, I think. Okay, so that's the elements. I have cut these out though, as I said, 2, 3, 4 times altogether for that. And then finally, oh, not finally, because I haven't got any flowers. Here's my flowers. So this is the Sunflowers, which came back in stock. So let's just flick those out as well. Again, love these flower plates because they cut out all in one go. Can't remember how many, but enough. And finally, I've cut out the word hello. And that comes from a die that is from Creative Expressions from about 3 years ago. Now, the word hello is actually the die, and then it comes with a stamp set of little extra bits and pieces that you put with it. But I thought that this word hello was just right for what I wanted to do today. So I've cut 2. They are from the satin gold, so the same gold as this one is, so that they are matching in with it, but we also wanted 2 so that they're just a little bit bolder and show better. So let's get these elements together, shall we? So, oops, it's caught up. Okay, so I'm going to make up the flowers first. So let's put them in order of sizes. Oops, like that, and like that. I'm going to take my moulding mat and I'm going to just mould some of those up. So I'm going to take the 2 biggest ones first, bring in my bone folder as well. So tools for the job. So I'm just going to sort of curl like you would do the paper at Christmas, the little ribbons at Christmas. I'm just curling those petals all the way around. And then I'm just going to use my bone folder, whoops, to just push that cup. There's more of a circle in here. Don't know if you can see that because it's also bright yellow, isn't it? Oh, I should have used a different colour there. That's better, sort of. It's it's cupping it, all right? So it's doing a nice cup. I'm going to do that with all the rest. So whilst I'm doing those, I'll be chatting about what we're doing. So as I said, these are available both as a bundle, which is a really good offer, or separately, but they are, I'm afraid, limited somewhat. And we have got, so we did a lovely workshop yesterday, and just to remind you, I literally have got a handful of places left for the workshop, not until next month, with the lovely John Lockwood, who has got a couple of lovely projects that we're going to be doing with him. Everything is supplied for you. You work at your own pace. You just sit and watch if you want to, whatever. But it is a join-in session, so you can be chatting away, but from the comfort of your own home, because it's done over the app called Zoom, which some of you may be familiar with. But we had some new people yesterday, and I think that they got on quite well and surprised themselves that it really wasn't as difficult as they thought. So, you know, do think about it, but do be quick, because I think we probably by this week, they will all be sold out, I'm afraid. So I'm just doing nearly all of them. Don't think I'm going to be doing the very smallest one. Just doing the same sort of thing with all of them. And then I shall pop them together. So this card is really different in as much as I said, unusually, I'm not going to do a mat and layer for it. And I think it works without one. So that's why I haven't done it. You tell me in a minute what you think. Because I think the sort of idea of using the bubbles means that we don't need to necessarily do it like that. So just breaking up those fibres really is what we're doing. And then I'm going to take some glue glaze, she says, hopefully. And I'm just going to pop these together. Take that away. So I'm just going to put some glue into the centre of each of the flowers and then offset that, get them to stuck together. And then I'm going to take a, let's have a look, the next, no, let me think. I think I'm going to use that one, but I'm just going to check. So I'm going to go with those two stuck together, offsetting the petals, like so. Yeah. And then, yeah, I think we'll go with the next size down as being the centres. Again, offsetting the petals if I can. So just building these ones up into a bit more like a layer. And then some more here as well. Just pop these together. Again, offsetting the petals. Makes it look like a much fuller flower, doesn't it? And then just popping that in. And then I've got some little ones there if I want to. Not sure if I do. If I want to. I'm just going to bring in my moulding mat again and then just get a chance to just once more push down onto that to give some, you know what, je ne sais quoi. Oh God, fluent as well, eh? Fluent. Right, okay. So let's now assemble our card. I'm going with a 7x7 card blank, always doing the top fold of it. And I'm going to take my circles and I'm going to put them to start off with in sort of the four corners. I've put them randomly. I haven't put them in any particular order, okay? Because first of all, I just want to assemble them. And I'm going to put my heart, my largest heart, into the centre so that they're almost forming another heart behind it, okay? I just want to move them around a little bit. Something like that, I think, okay? So I'm going to now spray those, because that will be the easiest way for me, but glue glaze would be ideal as well. And we'll just pop those into position. I'm just going to put them into my spray box and then just give them a quick spray with my, oh goodness, can't get the lid off. Oh, did you hear that? Pop. So I've just sprayed them. I'll take them out of the box and going a bit random. Let's bring in our heart to see. Yeah, that looks about right to me. Gosh, the light's really reflecting, isn't it? Yeah. And then I'm going for the two down the bottom. Sort of one like that. And to the one like that. So they are all in place. Now we know that the heart's going to go there, but now what I want to do is take some of my circles that were the leftover bits, yeah? So these were the bits that fell out, and I don't want to put loads in, and I just want to put them in randomly. So, and obviously I'm not going to be putting them in the middle bit because most of that will be covered, but I don't want to worry too much about whether it is totally covered, because it might poke through a little bit and it might just look perfect with it poking through a little bit. So you can see what I've done. Now I've got to find the right sizes. So that is not that, that is that one. And then we've got another one that size down there. Do I do any more that size? No. That one. That one. That one. Again, you can pick, obviously, whichever sizes you feel like and think will work for you. Oh, too big, too big, too small. Oh, it's like Goldilocks and the Three Bears, isn't that? No, that's too big. Let's get the right one. I think it must be this one then. It's better. And then over here, I've got that one and a diddy one. So as you can see, just random that's on there. I think I want to do that one as well. Oh, whoops. Which would be that size. So there you go. A selection, okay, of different ones. And then my heart is going to go onto the centre. And of course, it's going to have a bit of foam on, because it wouldn't be me if it didn't have a bit of foam on, would it? So I'm just going to put some foam onto the back to raise it up just a little bit. Take that off. Oh, just saying about how bad your weather is. Oh, sorry to hear that. I hope that you're all okay. I have to say, we've been very lucky down here because it's been cold, much colder than we normally get it, but nothing else, which is just as well. It's pretty to look at, but not if you've got to go to work and things like that. Is that not good? So let's put my heart in the centre. Like that. You see what I mean about the fact that I don't want to have put on any of the mats and layers. This bubble effect gives it a really different effect. So then I'm going to put my second heart onto there, and I'm going to just put that one flat. I'm not going to put that on with any foam or anything. Just going to be flat, like that. Then I'm going to put some of my flowers on. So I'm just going to go something like that. Get out my pin flare. Oh, this will be a test, won't it? As you may have been aware, I'm testing the theory that when you're shutting up the pin flare type glue, the silicone glue, that if you squeeze it to the very end and then put the top on, it stops it from going hard. And I haven't used this for 10 days. Oh, look at that. Still working, still working. So let's pop my flowers here. And here. And I know that I haven't got the 3 in one place, but I've got 3 on there, so I reckon that counts today. That goes onto there. Yeah, I reckon that's working. So as I said, I just push this so that it comes to the very top, and then holding it like that, put the lid on. Seems to do the trick nicely. Okay, so then I'm going to take a bit of glue and put that into the middle to put some clear. If you use different colours, you could obviously use this with coloured centres if you wanted to. From the rainbow clear thingy, you know what I mean. So these are going to show a bit whiter than they will do to start off with, because I've got this showing the glue there, obviously. So that's those. And then finally, I'm going to put my word in. So I'm going to use my glue glaze for this. And I'm going to put glue onto the back of my word. Just doing 2 layers, just so that it sits up a little bit. Never used to do the 2 layers, but was recommended to that with our lovely June Smith. And I have to say, I think it does make a lot of difference. It just sits it up nicely, I think is the word. So let's just add that to there. So I'm just getting one of the letters in, and then hopefully they all slide in together. Oh. Sit where you're told. I have to say it's a fancy word. Then I'm going to turn it over again, and I'm going to pop the glue glaze onto the back again to set it into place. And there we will have it. So this is sort of just as it says, hello, but it could be a Valentine's card. It could be a happy anniversary if you change the words. It could be a birthday card. It could be anything, really. Just because it's hearts doesn't mean to say that it is Valentine's. But it just, without the matte and layer on, it's a very different look for me. So I hope that you like it, because I think it's rather nice. So I'm just going to turn over my word. And I'm just going to pop that onto there. Tuck you underneath. Just put that down. Now when that dries, if I've got any excess bits of glue where I don't want them, I'll just take my glue eraser and just take them off of there. But I can't do it whilst it's still wet, because it will be a bit too much. So despite the fact that the lights are shining and making it look quite shiny in all places, it's a bit different, isn't it? So I'm liking what I see there, and I'm thinking that a combination of those two go quite well together. So thank you very much, Tessa, for inspiring me. I don't think it needed that matten layer. I think it would have detracted from there. So if you see what you like and you want to take any part of that, pop over to the maximumcraft.com website, where you will find everything that you've seen today under the Facebook Live section, despite the fact we're YouTube Live. And yet again, just remind you, for all my lovely followers, for some reason, Facebook is still not allowing me to invite people specifically to come and watch today. So it isn't that I'm not inviting you anymore. It's simply that Facebook doesn't want me to invite you. So I would remind you that the way to get notifications of me coming on, as a reminder, would be to make sure that you join and subscribe to this channel, to the Maximum Craft channel on YouTube. And then that way you will get told half an hour beforehand that I'm about to come on. I would also ask you to share the link to YouTube on your own pages or any craft groups that you are allowed to. That would be great. But don't forget that I'm always back on a Wednesday at 6 o'clock and a Sunday at 11 o'clock. This Wednesday, which will be the 25th, I will be back at 6 o'clock with new release, and I'm looking forward to showing you all the loveliness that will come with that. Okay, so take care, everyone. Have a lovely day. Stay safe, and I will see you on Wednesday. Thank you so much. Bye.